Hi everyone, my name is Sogol and I'm an associate marriage and family therapist here at Embracing You Therapy. In today's video, we will discuss how the reward system in ADHD affects motivation. We will also go over 3 motivational challenges that people with ADHD experience. And lastly, we will learn 3 different techniques for motivating someone with ADHD. Many people with ADHD often feel the frustration of not being able to do everyday tasks or start things they want to. Also, those who don't know they have ADHD might think they are lazy or different from others who can easily get things done or check off their to-do lists. It is tough and stressful when you know what you need to do but struggle to begin or finish a project. But as you know, we all struggle with motivation from time to time. And we all need it useful to see rewards for our actions or behaviors when trying to achieve goals or change our lifestyle. But for those with ADHD, the reward system plays a big role in how well they start and stick with a project. ADHD brains don't adapt as easily as non-ADHD brains. What motivates most people might not have the same effect on someone with ADHD. Because of lower dopamine levels, behaviors that boost dopamine are really attractive to those with ADHD. But if something doesn't give that dopamine boost, it might not matter much. So if you have ADHD and struggle with motivation, it might be because your reward system isn't working well. The reward system is important because it helps you stay disciplined and make changes. It encourages good behaviors and keeps you motivated. But in ADHD brains, if important parts of this reward system aren't working properly, it's hard to feel rewarded by regular activities. So let's start by addressing 3 motivational problems linked to ADHD. The first issue is difficulty focusing on important tasks. People with ADHD find it very hard to stay focused on a task unless it's engaging them in the right way. This can hinder their ability to complete important daily activities and affecting both their work and personal life. As soon as dopamine levels drop, someone with ADHD tends to seek out other activities that can stimulate their brain's interests, such as puzzle, game, or spending time on social media. The second problem with motivation when you have ADHD are mood swings and heightened emotions. We've all experienced the struggle of trying to do something when you are not feeling confident and upbeat. But ADHD can lead to intense emotions like higher anxiety, anger, or lower self-esteem. These feelings can make it even harder to find the motivation to tackle a task or can overwhelm a person so that they can't focus on anything else. And the last problem with motivation in ADHD is difficulty with prioritizing. People with ADHD often struggle because every task feels equally significant, which makes it stressful for them to organize their activities and decide where to begin. This happens when all tasks stimulate the same chemical response in their brain, like when they try to complete a list of chores. It can also happen because of the interconnectedness of the ADHD brain. For instance, you decide to clean your garage one day or your closet, so you begin the task. But you must first make a space, which is another task. But where to put what you moved is another task, and so on and so on. It's like each task is linked to the next one. This makes it hard for those with ADHD to decide which task is important and which task can be delayed. Now that we know a few motivational difficulties associated with ADHD, let's look at 3 methods for improving motivation in ADHD. The first method is creating a reward system. If you were diagnosed with ADHD as a child, you might remember using charts with stickers to track your progress and get rewards. I know, it might seem like a child's thing to do. But think about how satisfying and rewarding it was to watch those charts fill up with beautiful stickers. Basically, tracking progress, celebrating our achievements, and rewarding ourselves are helpful habits that stick with us and makes us feel good about our goals. When you design your reward system, I invite you to choose enjoyable activities that you will only treat yourself after completing tasks. And remember to embrace the satisfaction of going through this process step by step. Also, keep that in mind that the way an ADHD brain processes reward is different from non-ADHD brain. ADHD brains need stronger and more frequent rewards in order to register the positive impact. This means that simple, mild, or delayed rewards don't work for an ADHD brain. Also, rewards that are tied to behavior like music, exercise, and food increase dopamine. But the problem is that high-risk behaviors such as gambling or dangerous driving boost dopamine even more. These risky behaviors also decrease serotonin, which control impulse control. So, creating a reward system means making space for rewards that serve and nurture you, rather than leaving gaps for impulsive choices that are easier to access. The second technique is using visualization to activate your reward system. When people with ADHD complete a task, they often don't feel positive emotions like pride or confidence. Instead, they often feel a sense of embarrassment that it took them so long to complete one task, or even ashamed that their delay in completing a task caused disruption in their relationships with others, such as co-workers or family members. Experiencing negative emotions after accomplishing something can be really discouraging, and that's completely understandable. To address this, you can try a visualization exercise where you imagine how it would feel to complete a task with a positive emotions. During therapy, we've observed that when people visualize and expect positive feelings, they become more motivated to finish tasks and can actually feel those positive emotions once it's done. Besides visualizing feeling better about your achievements, you can also picture how you will work towards your goals. Think about how you will feel, what the results will be, and the different ways you might take to get where you want to go. But try to not focus too much on things going wrong. Visualize as if everything goes well. What steps do you need to take? And break it down into smaller and simpler tasks. Try to picture the details you can control, like your clothes, the light in the room, and your workspace setup. Just allow yourself to feel the joy and pride that comes with accomplishments. And the last method is to lean on your values. As you know, most people usually prefer avoiding pain over seeking pleasure. This is how stronger fear is. We might prefer a certain but neutral outcome rather than risking something we want that might go wrong. This often means our actions are driven by fear, not what we truly value. So, figuring out our values help guide our focus and shift away from fear. Letting fear dominate our thoughts isn't helpful or productive. When you think about your values, you can see how they link to rewards. The reward system we are trying to use here isn't just about avoiding pain. We want the reward to be more significant and appealing. You can start by asking yourself, what matters to me right now? How can I connect a reward to that value? For instance, if your top choice is your family and you value being a reliable and contributing family member, consider rewarding yourself with a family-related treat. Maybe you want to spend quality time with them, or you brainstorm fun outings or activities you can do together. The great thing about your ADHD brain is that you are probably used to letting deadlines motivate you, You often wait until the last minute to get things done. But what if you create a mini deadline by planning an activity with a loved one? Let's say you have 3 chores to finish, and usually it takes you about an hour. If you find it hard to start, try giving yourself between an hour and a half to complete them. If you succeed, you treat yourself to a dinner lunch with your loved one. Suddenly, you notice that there is a rewarding deadline. This aligns with your value of spending time with your family. Remember, your brain's need for stimulation isn't all bad. In fact, when you are engaged with something, your ADHD can be your superpower. But too much focus can also have downsides. That is why we want to use tools to motivate our ADHD brain to complete tasks that don't offer a dopamine reward. Here's the good news. These tools exist. It takes practice and support, which you can find it through therapists, online or in-person connection, or even both. By putting in time and effort, you can create techniques that make you more successful and happier. Just be consistent and kind to yourself. Thank you so much for watching today's episode, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. You can also visit our website for more information at embracingyouTherapy.com.